Hans, Bobby, I'm your white knight.
Want to get your hands on some sports cards?
Hell yes!
You're in the right place.
Good morning.
Is everybody ready?
Welcome to the weekly Target Watch on Schultzzy's Card Pull.
What is up, sports fans? It is 5 minutes into the Hot Zone, Wednesday, November 30th. What is up? What is up, everybody? Hoping to see if we can score some sports cards, or we could see if we could just hang out and talk about the hobby if we don't see some sports cards. But I'm assuming, since it's been a couple of weeks since our last sports card restock on Target.com, that we're going to see something yakking on to the website, even though it has been a bunch of Black Friday deals, even though it has been a bunch of other kinds of stuff up for grabs on the website. I know lots of staff have been focusing on other things the past few days, but I know that we're going to be seeing at least something showing up today. What's going on, everybody? I enjoy the talk already about, hey, where are all those flippers? Flippers are dead, because flipping is dead, and it's making me laugh. So what is up, everybody? Good to see everyone hanging out. We are a few minutes into the Hot Zone, and we can talk about the state of the hobby as we are waiting to see what drops on Target.com. We can yak about all kinds of stuff going on in the world of sports and the hobby as well. Lots of drama. The continuing really lack of a response from Panini. And honestly, I really do think Fanatics should step up and say something as well, as far as the rumors about hits going to specific parts of the country. But we can get into that. What is up, John Dickinson? Chris Seed, Games to Game, says, what up, Schultzy? Cool by default in the house. Yamias, Tim F. Giants, Mem, Elite Main, Ben and Becker Rips, Yamias. Sorry, I already read your name. June, Craig, Elio, excuse me. Kraken, what's up? Ronnie SR79, M Easy in the house. Brad Selden Esquire in the house. Good morning to my hashtag dirty flippers, even though there's nothing to flip. Good morning to all of you as well. What is up? What? As one of the hosts on my radio station here in Portland says every time, shoot, he'll be on in a couple hours now, but it's still a little early for that. But he says, what is happening? Evo says, Schultzy, did my package get to you? Evo, what's up, man? I need to go check my P.O. box. I have not checked my P.O. box yet. So hopefully, if you sent me something, man, hey, I appreciate that. I'm assuming that it did get to me in the mail. I will go check to make sure later today and let y'all know in the next stream if that got to me or not. But absolutely, I'm sure that it did, and I'm sure that it got to me safe and sound. Although I have seen some packages taking forever in the mail. Even ones that I sent out like a couple weeks ago are just still just moving slowly along or sitting. It just doesn't make sense to me. So good old the winter shipping times. But hey, there's a lot more packages than we're used to, right? But anyways, that's not why we're here. We are hoping to get some quick shipping times with some sports cards if we see some select megas here on Target.com. Not sure where these select football megas are. Not sure why we haven't seen them to this point. But I'm assuming that, if we don't see some select football megas coming our way today, I don't know when, but I would expect that we will see them. We still have seen proof. I'm going to lean on that. We still have seen proof that we have a link as well for select megas. So we have seen proof that they are on Target's website, or at least were at one point. Hoosier says morning as well. How you doing, Hoosier? Good to see you, brother. Good to see y'all. Good to see you hanging out. Everybody in the house. No, I appreciate you guys. You guys are awesome. Tyler Young says must be a West Coast problem. Talking about shipping. Well, I know that like Run Good Life says he's been getting snow up in his area in Washington. We are dealing with, like, I know we've had, of course, employee shortages, and in the valley, at least down in Oregon, we've been dealing with some inclement weather in some spots. A lot of rain lately, but like a windstorm going on right now. Nothing too crazy. Oh, dude, cool by default. 86 Fleer basketball in stock. Go. I need a Jordan rookie. Dude, with a $10 super chat. Just get us started early this morning. Appreciate y'all. Especially you, cool by default. Man, every single time I see one of those, you guys, get old goosebumps coming across. Man, every single time. You guys make me feel way too good when you give me those super chats. I appreciate you. I cannot thank you enough. Good old goosebumps and good old feelies. Anthony Ledon, is saying Jalen Hurts MVP. I'd say that's a decent bet at this point. I don't know what the betting odds are, but gosh, I wonder what they were at the beginning of the season for Jalen Hurts being the MVP, because if anybody put any money on Jalen before week 1 to be MVP, they are going to be a rich man or woman. Oh my goodness. Anthony Phillips is people trying to sell retail for cost, begging for their money back as they maxed out the credit card and 18% interest charges each month, LMAO. Exactly, Anthony. I love it. Now, some of those flippers getting held or left holding the bag at this point. Unless you were holding super, super valuable 2020 retail, unless you were holding Prizm football, Mosaic, Optic, or, gosh, I would even say most of the 2021 basketball releases besides like Prizm basketball. Once you started getting past that, it was starting to seem a little more watered down retail-wise, which is frustrating because I don't know. Personally, I think that like a 2020-21 Mosaic basketball is still a buy. However, you can get those blasters for so cheap right now. And that's something that we got to talk about, y'all, as we wait to see what's going to be happening on Target.com. I wouldn't be surprised. Of course, it is not beyond Target, even though we are at the every other week Wednesday that we've seen kind of that the schedule that Target has been sticking to as far as sports cards go. I would not be surprised in the slightest if Target decided to switch it up this week. So, hey, we can talk about what's going on in the hobby. We can talk about sports cards as well, and all the drama and the news around sports today. Of course, Deshaun Watson coming back. And actually, guys, I kind of wanted to show you, we've got a little bit of a new graphic here on SCHULTZY'S Card Pulse. Going to be starting to talk a lot more topics within the hobby doing this show. So excited. What I think I'm going to do, I'm trying to turn this into like more of like a regular stream. So I'm thinking I'm going to do this like 4 days a week. And when we're not doing it like on Target drop days, we'll probably do it a little bit later in the morning just so we can all sleep in, because this is ridiculous. And I do hope at some point Target does give us some cards at some point later in the morning. But anyways, kind of plans for the future. We could, of course, talk about all of these topics coming up here later in the morning. And as the news develops, whether or not we're going to see sports cards on Target.com or not. But I really do want to lay into the fact that select megas have not been seen as of yet on Target.com. If we do not see those, then we pretty much are going to be waiting for whatever select basketball megas hit retail shelves. And I think Mosaic 2021-22 is going to be the last highly sought after retail like a box that people are going to want to get their hands on as far as football or basketball goes. When you're looking at baseball, you've still got Chrome Update for 2022. That's going to have some awesome Julio rookies and some chances at Wander Franco, that kind of stuff. O'Neal Cruz, all those big guys, Bobby Witt Jr. So I would assume that people coming up here in the month of December are going to want their hands on that 2022 Chrome Update, a retail exclusive product as well. But outside of these coming up, guys, yeah, the retail card game has definitely gone down. The flipping game is definitely dead. And kind of to circle back around, unless you've really gotten your hands on 2020 football, 2020, 2019, 2020 basketball, and before. And of course, some 2020, 21 basketball, like I was saying, like some Prizm, and beyond that, we were saying, even though I think Mosaic is still a buy, the prices are fairly low on the resale market. That's not necessarily a bad thing, though. That's not necessarily a bad thing. All right, check in these ceaseless Discord monitors here on Target.com. Last thing I saw on the Target restocked monitor on ceaseless was a 50-inch 4K TV. I know. Let me know if y'all bought a TV over Black Friday. I actually did. I bought a couple of different TVs. They were just too cheap. They were too cheap to turn down. So made a couple of replacements happen in the house. Yummy says, I've been buying 2021 products at damn near retail prices. Hell yeah, baby. Adrian says, select loaded. Brad Selden with the thumbs up. Tyler says, I just want select megas so I can talk more smack to Brian Lawhorn. That's funny. Yeah, Brian Lawhorn says retail is fading, and he is right. Absolutely. There's going to be, really, like I said, guys, 3 key things we're going to be waiting for. And these 3, as I just mentioned, are going to be the select football megas and select basketball megas if they do come out. We got, well, I guess 4 technically. Chrome update baseball, and then of course coming up here in late January, I believe it's like the 22nd or 25th. I can't remember exactly, but we're looking at Mosaic 2021-22 basketball. And anything with those case hits is absolutely going to be off the shelf still. I guess people, even with the select basketball, we can see here still in stock because it has the blue. That is one thing that I don't even think in case hit proof, the retail. If it's got a very devalued single, along with all the other stuff in the hobby kind of being devalued right now, not really sure exactly what's going to happen to boxes like that and how fast they're going to fly off the shelves or not. Super frustrating. B for the EV says Junk Wax Era 2.0. Soon NBA Prizm Blaster is going to be 50% off, says Elite Main. Talking about 2021-22 Prizm Blasters for basketball. Yeah, frustrating there. Those do have value. I would say the Cello packs are the ones that have the most value. However, we are seeing, I would say the rest of those products kind of just go on the wayside, even the mega boxes, because of really the lack of actual chances at anything. Even though megas have chances at autos, they don't have chances really at numbered cards. The Cello packs do. So just goes to show you, hey, sometimes you don't have to spend the most amount of money to grab the biggest hit. All right, looking at, of course, we can go back here on the target tracker, looking at the ceaseless Discord monitors. Should be hopefully seeing something popping up here in the next few minutes on target.com. If not, then I guess we're going to have to be waiting next week as well, because we can officially say Target changing it up if we don't see anything this Wednesday. But, of course, waiting here to see, and it could be late this morning, so it's kind of funny. People just like think they know. We saw a couple hundred people in here like kind of just dip out here in the last couple of minutes. People think they know, oh, Target, whatever, we know what they're doing this morning. No, you don't. None of us do. And honestly, I do understand outside of like 1 or 2 boxes, people don't really care what Target's doing. But it's people funny like, oh, whatever, I know what Target's doing. No, none of us do. None of us ever do. So, of course, we can talk about all of these stories coming up here in the hobby and in sports news. The death of modern-day rookies. Are they being overprinted? I think the easy answer to that is yes. And we can dive into that. But, you know, the death of modern-day rookies essentially has happened since 2020. I think the poll values from the rookie class for football specifically were high enough, and the poll rates were, I want to say, good enough to where employees were grabbing all of these boxes for resale, making it hard for us to get their hands on them at stores like Target and Walmart. And essentially it's kind of starting, I think it kind of started with like a few employees, and then the other flippers kind of started to figure it out, and then essentially made it really hard for us to get our hands on as far as 2020 football went. But those pull rates and those values really did sustain the hobby for a bit, but we weren't really understanding as we were getting back into the hobby what the pull rates actually were and how many of those were being printed. In the process of putting together a couple different videos right now, but one, it does include that clip that I've been talking about for, God, almost a year and a half now. I think it's almost 2 years old as of this Christmas. Tracy Hackler, no longer with Panini, but he was talking about how, you know what? You probably all don't want to know how many silver cards are printed because I don't know, and there's absolutely no way that anybody would actually value them the way that essentially what he was saying is the way that they do now if you knew what the print run was. Unbelievable. Pack Attack Jackpot in the house says, good morning, Schultzy. I hope you're doing good, my friend. I appreciate you guys. Thank you, Pack Attack. Tony Fish and Rips in the house as well. What's up? Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you guys. I'm doing all right. I apologize. A lack of content and lack of live streaming lately. I've just been feeling pretty bunk, man. I didn't do breaks on Sunday at all. I've just been feeling terrible. So not like RSV or COVID or anything like that. I took a COVID test. I was negative, but my wife and I mean, literally for 3+ weeks, I've been fighting colds, and the energy level's been zapped. I mean, we've been trying to fight it. Vitamin C doses, walks, like just trying to move through it, see if we can get the gunk flowing. But just not a fun 3 weeks, man. Just bad flu, cold going around, and been falling a little victim to that. So I apologize, guys. Just the energy level has not been what I would want it to be the past few weeks. And I was excited. I appreciate you. Tony Fish and Ribs hooked me up with some tickets to. It was such a fun show to Trans-Siberian Orchestra on Monday night here in Portland, Oregon. And after that, that was like the first thing that I'd done in a bit, really just, outside the house. After that, I was absolutely blasted. My wife and I were like, oh my God, we are way too tired. Like, she actually called in sick to work yesterday, and I'd spent yesterday trying to recover, knowing that there would be hopefully a restock today and hopefully a live stream today. So I just wanted to apologize, guys. Say just, I understand that y'all want me to be on. You've said, hey, we enjoy these live streams. We enjoy when we hang out and we've got this convo going, even though there aren't cards restocked on Target.com. So I apologize. Just wanted to mention that. But anyways, as we do continue the conversation about the top sports stories in the world of the hobby and sports cards, of course, I think we can say that the modern day rookie cards are experiencing some kind of death that has not really been foreseen in the past 18 months, but also not really surprising because of, and I'm not just talking about like the regular base cards or silvers, even some numbered rookie cards are just not fetching a lot of cash right now. I mean, you could buy a LaMelo Ball, you could buy an Anthony Edwards, you could buy some of those guys that have been super highly valued in the hobby on the basketball side, even a Justin Herbert rookie. You can buy those for so much less than you could even 6 months ago. And the prices are still dropping, and that kind of goes into the next headline of the morning, that sports card singles prices still dropping like a rock. And we're talking from the top down, y'all. I know Sports Card Radio has been on this for weeks, but the Michael Jordan, they've been looking at the Michael Jordan PSA 10 sale because that is a great indicator of kind of how the hobby's doing. Somebody that everybody loves, that helped kickstart the hobby and the values kind of going insane. I would say that was probably like the third or fourth oomph into the hobby back in 2019 going into 2020 as COVID happened. You, of course, had the run with Zion and Ja and Luka rookies, that going into that amazing documentary about the Chicago Bulls on ESPN, 10-part series with Michael Jordan featured prominently in it, helping drive his prices further as well as the rest of the hobby further. It's really a good indicator to look at values in the hobby of what a Michael Jordan PSA, specifically 10, but you could even kind of look at a 9, but a PSA 10 rookie value is, and that when the hobby's doing well and when singles prices are doing well, that card is valued super, super high. We're talking close to, a mil or more. And now in the last couple of months, if not even the last, I'm trying to think, 6 months down to 2 months, we've seen, especially the last 2 months, a really, really quick devaluation of that card. But over the last 6 months as well, Michael Jordan essentially being sold for under 200 grand this year, then all of a sudden down to 130. It's like, oh my God. And then all of a sudden, and we're still talking massive numbers, but a Michael Jordan PSA 10 selling for just over 100,000 in some instances. That is, in my opinion, or at least what my barometer on values in the card hobby have seemed to be, is cheap in the past year and a half or two. That is cheap for a Michael Jordan rookie. However, is it cheap? Not quite sure. That actually might be something that you're going to be looking at getting for that card for the next few months. Yeah, Sports Card Radio rules. I agree. No, they've been doing well. Congrats to Sports Card Radio for all their growth and for all of the different topics that they've been covering. Super, like wolves. They get their teeth into them and they just let all the details fly. And I absolutely love it. David asking if anything is backloaded. Not seeing anything as of yet, unfortunately. So not sure if Target's going to be switching it up this week, switching it up for a day, like a different day going on. I mean, shoot, we may have to live stream tomorrow if Target doesn't restock anything today. We might have to do that as well. So yeah, we can talk as we are hoping to see. And anybody let me know if they do see. Of course, some other people do have access to the ceaseless Discord monitors as well as Discord monitors of their own. from different groups. And of course, y'all can let me know if you see any items going in stock as far as sports cards go on Target.com as we continue to talk about these top stories in the world of sports cards. Sorry, guys, wrong window there. The Target tracker up, fresh. We don't see anything new in stock here that we had not seen already before the morning got going. Of course, do have my chocolate milk ready to go. Elite Main says, waiting for the next bubble in 50 years. Yeah, no kidding, right? I know people are pretty upset about like how prices have gone. But you want to talk about the death of modern day rookies. Essentially, Chris C making a good point that pop reports are not accurate. And essentially, we don't even have an initial idea from Panini of what pop reports are. And I think people are sick of it. I think people have had enough of it and are fed up. I do understand that there is still the big chance at, massive 101s, massive hits. I still want to buy into breaks. I still want to try and get my hands on those big cards, on the Justin Herbert rookies, but I think what we're seeing, it was pretty easy, even to see like a $10 or $15 value be stuck on like any future Hall of Famer quarterback, like even in a current day set. That's kind of where we were at. You could get 10 to 15 bucks for like a Tom Brady, Pat Mahomes silver parallel or checkerboard was like going for $100, maybe more, something like that. Not even rookies, but just guys, that are quarterbacks that are going to be going to the Hall of Fame or that just won a Super Bowl recently in Pat Mahomes. So even those were getting you 10 or 15 bucks. And when just I would really call them normie kind of cards, regular kind of cards in these sets are getting you that much money on the resale market. Of course, that singles prices are good and the value of everything is good. and it reflects then you're going to be getting, 30 to 50 bucks per, I don't know, I would say mid-tier rookie up to $100 like at a Prizm last year, if not more. For a great rookie. At the time, Justin Herbert, I remember 2020 Prizm football values. You were paying $100 to $130 right after Prizm came out. This is a base, not a Prizm Silver, a base Justin Herbert rookie. So the values have absolutely, I wouldn't say returned to earth, but I don't know if that's the case or not. I don't know if this is earth, if this is really the flat line where we're at, but we can say that these values have gone down. And singles prices are still dropping. And I'm not trying to talk S about the hobby. What I'm saying is, and correct me if I'm wrong, you guys, but I think that, most of us got in not only for the collecting purpose, because there's so many nostalgic moments that I can remember growing up with my dad, and that being really the main reason that I got back into the hobby. But along with that, the prospect of investing and the prospect of making cash, based on maybe picking a rookie correctly or having a bunch of cards that you've been sitting on that nobody thought was going to be, a good rookie, and all of a sudden he pops off, or there's so many different ways that people could get in and make some cash. And I'm not saying that that's the way that it should be, just like back in 2020, people not able to find boxes because that sucked. Flippers really did kill the hobby, and singles values were, I would say, a little inflated, let's be honest, because we had really nothing else to do. So I think we were all saying that they would come down a little bit, but I don't think people thought that they would come down this much. Just dealing with kind of, like I said, not a return to earth, but sports card values very, very low now. Paul Tuttle 420 says 99.9% no select megas. Paul, we have seen a link on Target.com. So even if we don't see a restock today, I still think that we got select football megas coming our way. And I still think, of course, like I said, we've got some select basketball megas coming our way. It'll be interesting to see if those have numbered parallels in them or not. I really do think that with Panini pulling the chances at autos out of these boxes, it really just killed retail as well. So we can talk about kind of the death of retail. Of course, the overprinting happening, and this kind of goes along with singles prices still dropping as well. But, along with we were talking about just a second ago and kind of relating all this into those 2020 boxes, with those pull rates being good, I kind of forgot to mention, and I was going to mention, those mega boxes had autos in them. Go back and look at 2020 Optic Football. You had bronze autos guaranteed in those mega boxes. Prizm Football Megas 2020, whether it be Target or Walmart versions, had guaranteed autos in them, right? So frustrating to see that Panini takes that away, devalues the hell out of the retail product. I personally don't think it's bad where you have, maybe a mega box, if it's got a guaranteed auto in it like that, and I'm talking guaranteed, it's not a bad price point at $50 or $60. And if the rookie class is popping off, when cards are reselling at a bunch of cash and when hobby boxes are reselling at like $1,000 or more, or, initially priced for Prizm at like $1,200 or something crazy, $2,000 or more, that mega box being resold for $200 to $300, that doesn't really ruffle my skirt. I kind of understand that, and I get why people were trying to get their hands on those even at $300 a pop. And I still think now the 2020 Prizm Football Megas that are on sale for like $260 to $280, those are absolutely a decent buy as well. And speaking of which, we will be giving one of those away at retail cost, y'all. Still got some boxes left for our retail rally, our throwback to 2020 retail prices on Drip. Gonna finish that out here coming up on Drip, most likely this Sunday, but make sure you check it out if you have not, dripshop.live. Use the QR code up on the screen or the link down in my description. You get, actually, I believe they have updated their promo. They were doing $15 off, but now they're doing $20 off. So make sure you get in, use that link. You get $20 off your first purchase of $30 or more. Dripshop.live. I'm going to be doing all my breaks. We'll be simulcasting them on YouTube, but all my breaks going forward on dripshop.live as well. So excited to partner up with them. And hey, like I said, going to be still hoping, to run those breaks up for those big chances at those rookies. But unfortunately, with the way that the value of these cards is gone, and with boxes kind of being devalued as well, with megas no longer containing chances at autos, unfortunately, people just said peace. I've always been saying access equals sustainability, right? Access to the hobby equals sustainability. And right now, we are seeing too little too late from all of these card companies that essentially didn't really do anything besides increase the print runs. They did nothing, let's be honest. I know that I am impressed with Topps, especially since they've been bought by Fanatics, kind of with some of their customer service, not all of it, but then their quality control as well on like getting, for instance, the silver packs after the whole Topps Chrome 2022 debacle that did not include the Bobby Witt Jr. or Julio Rodriguez short print cards as rookie pulls in the initial hobby boxes like they were supposed to be in the print run. Kudos to Topps for stepping up and making sure that people got their hands on those silver packs. That's something that in the height of the pandemic and before Topps got bought by Fanatics, I'm not quite sure that would have happened, but really happy to see. So kudos to them for sure. Kudos to them for sure. Absolutely are going to be going forward with, I think, some much better customer service, and that silver pack debacle solving, getting those packs to customers, even the ones that bought them at hobby shops, and I would assume threatening these distributors, saying, hey, if these don't end up in collectors' hands, if these don't end up into every single person that actually bought these hobby boxes, you're losing your account. You're done, and we're never going to bring you back. I mean, I'm assuming they had to threaten something ridiculous, and these distributors begrudgingly are like, all right, man, just got to try to keep my account going forward, so I'm going to make sure that I give these packs out. And thankfully, they did. So that's the kind of oomph that it's going to take from those guys going forward. What's going on? Aiden says, Schultz, new live target guy. Adrian, I've been the target live guy for a while. I appreciate you, brother. Shelby says they'll just continue printing money and bailing out the industry, which makes your cards worth less. That's also a good point, Shelby. That's also a good point as well. The thing with inflation right now, also kind of hitting these singles prices, we're paying, gosh, I just looked at a graphic. We're paying like 60% more for eggs. We're paying almost 35 to 50% more depending on where you live for gas. We're paying 12% more for coffee. We're paying Every single staple of your life has gone up. And now credit cards haven't just become things used for like wants to haves. I've been reading that people have been using credit cards in 2022, which somebody just said, stupid high interest rates that people have been buying cards with to flip. Well, people have been buying staples for their household with credit cards as well. And we talk about super high interest rates and people unfortunately forced to do so because they just don't have the money to make ends meet right now. So that, all along with the lack of access to boxes initially, the cards being overprinted in response to that, the mega boxes specifically, and the boxes in retail being hella devalued is contributing to singles prices dropping. Al's Design says eggs are up 200% here, $8.99 to $15.99. Yes, I track it. LOL. Belly says it's okay, Adrian. The other guy is allowed. That's fine, Adrian. The other guy can try to do what he wants, man. I don't care. That is exactly how the world works. Capitalism at its finest, my friend. It is a free market. This is not a communist operation here where we only let some people on. You can do it, and the audience will tell you if you're good or not. And if they hate you, then they hate you. If they love you, then they'll stick to you, and I'll lose some viewers, and that's fine. But I will say there have been many that have tried to do this, that have tried to stream. It's kind of funny. Every time I see, like, when I've kind of lightened up a little bit, like I just, been dealing with a lot of gunk in the throat and a lot of crap in the lungs. Whenever, I'm just not feeling as well and not doing as much on YouTube, there's always some dude out there that's like, oh, hey, Schultz, he's not covering Target. I think I can cover Target. Well, do you have 12 years of radio experience and you've been doing this for 2 years? Yeah, then maybe you could cover Target like I have, but I'll toot my own horn on that one. But other than that, no. JML, what's going on? What's going on, JML? Belly Dat says Pokemon just as overprinted. You're not wrong. You are not wrong, Belly. They started overprinting Pokemon just before we really started to experience the overprinting on sports cards. Yeah, no, they definitely have overprinted Pokemon as well. No doubt. All right, so we're looking at 4:37 Pacific time. Have not seen anything happening on Target.com yet, so I would assume, it's kind of funny now, we don't really know. We've been going every other week for sports cards on Target.com. Now we don't really know if and when Target's going to be dropping cards here in the next day or two or next week. It sounds like we got to go just every week until we figure out exactly what Target's going to be doing. Juan says it's all about sales, supply and demand. I don't know if it's a hobby anymore or just an addiction. Yeah, Juan, that's the kind of thing that I've started to kind of wonder myself, if it's I love sports and I love cards and I love the community that I feel when I'm a part, of these live streams, when we're doing breaks and that kind of thing. They're just some awesome people. However, there are also some toxic people, and there are also some toxic attitudes that really have ruined the hobby and brought down the hobby. And I don't just mean like the crappy dudes that are, being jerks like to you while you're breaking or while you're opening boxes. But I do mean, with the rumors of hits going to specific areas, going to specific breakers, the biggest one-on-ones being pulled by specific people. It really, really does throw the hobby off, and it's frustrating. And that is just not good for anybody. And like I said, access equals sustainability. People don't feel like they have access at that point when you got to buy in to like 2 specific breakers to get, big hits. And it's not like those are the only ones. I do know, Hitman Rips has just been on. Oh God, congrats to Hitman. I think he just got named 2022 Beckett Breaker of the Year. Major congrats to Hitman Rips. He's been pulling fire, and I know for a fact that he doesn't get loaded boxes, and people now are starting to say because he's getting to be a bigger breaker, well, maybe somebody like that could get loaded boxes. It's like, don't do that. Hitman Rips is so honest. He is so honest. Don't even accuse any breaker that like starts to like get those hits, and I know that people in those chats have accusingly like said that as a joke, but and anytime somebody like we see like a big hit, even in my breaks, I don't pull nearly as many big hits. People always joke about that, so that's kind of what I'm talking about. Like RGL, like whenever he pulls like a massive hit, it's like, oh, guys, oh, he's getting influencer boxes now. So it's like as soon as you start pulling those big hits, people wonder now, which is bad for the hobby. That is so frustrating, and I unfortunately think that that's going to hurt the hobby as well. And Panini don't give an S about that. And the lack of response from them is stunning. Absolutely stunning. Yeah, Pack Attack posting that video about the Topps Chrome buyback program. Yeah, check that out. Check Pack Attack Jackpot's channel out, guys, as well. Proof that YouTube does not always get it right with the algorithm, because Pack Attack's content is very funny and very entertaining. Very well thought out, very well produced. It's good stuff. Go watch it. Go subscribe. So next up on the list of topics, of course, the return of Deshaun Watson. And I must say, and we can get back into the hobby here in just a second. Just wanted to say a couple of things really quickly about this morning. Are the Browns going to be better at Deshaun Watson with them at quarterback than Jacoby Brissett at quarterback? Especially after that comeback win that Jacoby Brissett led the Browns to over Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers last week. Jacoby looked good, guys. I know they're paying Deshaun Watson a lot of money, but Jacoby Brissett looked good. Quarterback controversy in Cleveland. I'm telling you. All right, so that's one thing I wanted to say about Deshaun Watson returning. And two, this is just a bad look for the NFL, okay? No matter what side of the aisle you sit on, when 20-plus women have accused you of doing something, let's take women out of it. When 20-plus people have accused you of doing something, and yes, there's the argument on the other side that says, oh, they're all just trying to get on that gravy train, and when a couple of people do it, then more people feel like they can do it, so they just try to pile on. Listen, it has been the exact same accusation from 20-plus different women. At best, Deshaun Watson is a creep, all right? At best. And no, it's not illegal in the NFL to be a creep or illegal in society to be a creep. But I do think we should look down upon that. I don't think we should let those guys be NFL quarterbacks, even if they are accused of being creeps. But if you play well enough, then that puts that question to bed. So that's just the world we live in. But it's just a bad look. So that's what I wanted to say. No matter what side of the aisle you sit on, whether you believe those women or not, I personally do. I think this is a horrible look for the NFL. And that's all I'm going to say about it. I'm not trying to go preachy. I'm not trying to get political. Just felt like I had to mention it today because this is literally in the last 48 hours. I feel like I've been reading about Deshaun Watson coming back, Deshaun Watson coming back, Deshaun Watson coming back. So had to absolutely had to make a quick point about it. Yeah, no, Belly Dad, I hear you. Innocent until proven guilty. Yes. However, in the civil trial, there's been ample evidence. There's been ample evidence. So I don't want to get too deep into it, but there's ample evidence that he, if you're a reasonable person, and even if you guys throw the fact that he were a quarterback out of it. If any person, if I or if you were accused of doing that, and you can go read the files yourselves. Go read the police reports. They're disgusting. They're horrible. If somebody you knew were accused of doing that to women 20 plus times to 20 different women, I think you would think differently as opposed to just this, innocent until proven guilty, like because he's a quarterback. And that's what I'm saying. It's just a bad look. So I needed to hit on that. It is top of mind in the world of sports, of course. In the world of the hobby, we've been talking about sports cards being valued very, 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 very far, far less than they were a couple of years ago. We're looking at the ceaseless Discord monitors and looking to see if Target's going to restock some sports cards this morning. Have not caught anything as far as new items yet. And wonder, in the middle of talking about hobby news and sports news, if Fanatics is going to be buying Panini. We've been seeing rumors happening now for what I think the last month or so. The negotiations were happening. I know Sports Card Radio has been doing a great job covering it as well. I would not be surprised if this deal falls through, and here's why. Fanatics does not need Panini to be successful at this point. I would assume that Fanatics is trying to do the business thing and get bottom dollar. Or trying to buy Panini for bottom dollar, basically, essentially. They are trying to value Panini as little as possible, and why wouldn't they? They've already got tops. They've essentially already killed Panini's chances at even continuing past 2025. Panini knows this. They're buying Panini for the rights to Prizm, the rights to all of those names like Mosaic, like Optic, and that kind of thing that Panini owns. That is the only thing of value to Fanatics in this deal. There might be a couple of like soccer rights, whatever. I'm assuming that, people are going to make that point like, oh, Schultzy, don't forget about that. And I apologize. But really, it's the properties here. It's the intellectual property that Fanatics is trying to go for. The Prizm, the Optic, the Don Russ, all of those big names, trying to keep those alive. If Panini can't keep those alive through the Fanatics brand after 2024-25, Fanatics are just going to move on. They're going to go with Chrome basketball. They're going to go with Chrome football again, which I know collectors would be happy as hell about. So, personally, along the lines of, I want to say, 3 to 4 weeks or so, we've been hearing about Panini and Fanatics doing a possible deal. I'm assuming that, the holiday season going into Q4, you don't really see many deals get done business-wise in Q4. Lot of stuff kind of being wrapped up, and then in the first of the year, Q1 for your next fiscal year is kind of really when you start to look at business deals. So I wouldn't even think that would be announced for one until the new year. Hey, what's going on? Vanessa in the house as well. What's up, Vanessa? Good to see you. But along with that, I really don't think that the chances of Fanatics buying Panini are that great, because I don't think they need them. And unless Panini literally agrees to all of Fanatics' concessions and Panini agrees to Fanatics' price, I just don't think there's any reason for Fanatics to have to pay them. Yeah, I want to see Fleer basketball again, says Sanguel Doc 3TV. Frank V the third says 7:45 Eastern, calling it no drop. Yeah, we got the hot zone until 5 a.m. Pacific, 8 a.m. East Coast time, and then at that point we can officially call no drop. But we have seen late morning restocks. We have seen these happening right around, I think the latest load that I saw happen for a Target restock of new items was about 4:54. And it was like all surprising. All of a sudden, we were like packing it in for the day. Like, all right, guys, what the hell is Target doing? And all of a sudden, it was like, whoa, wait. It was pretty crazy. So funny. That has happened before, and we will hopefully see maybe in the next 10 minutes that happening today. And if not, guess I'll have to stream tomorrow, and we'll be back at it next week. Indeed. Yep, that's right. Says, what's going on, man? Long time no see. Good to see y'all. Hope you're talking to me. If you're talking to JML or Vanessa or Pack Attack. What's going on? Iceman says, yo, Schultzy, my man. How you doing, Ice? Got the chocolate milk here, but it's not bringing no luck. Adam N says, Fanatics is awful. Be careful what you wish for. I mean, I'm not trying to wish for it, Adam. I'm just saying that I don't think Fanatics needs Panini at this point. And it's not like Panini's any better. We've been dealing with no customer service. Seriously, guys, Panini has responded zero to the controversy about hits being sent to specific locations or specific breakers. We have not heard a damn peep from Panini. Why is that? And honestly, I mean, it really does make me question why I would want to buy cards from a company like that. Of course, I love cards. I love the sports card hobby. But see, that shouldn't be a reason for Panini to stay in business and for us to keep buying their boxes. I'm sorry. If the customer service experience is not good, then there's got to be a cutoff point. And I do feel like we are seeing that cutoff point happening right now. People are saying, no, I refuse. I refuse to pay $1,200 to $2,000 for a hobby box. Hell no. And thankfully, breakers made boxes accessible for the normal dude. But I know Panini doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to them or Topps or Fanatics who's buying the boxes as long as they're making money. But I guarantee you they are not selling. It's obvious because they're lowering prices like a freaking rock. Even as of 8 months ago, they probably weren't selling nearly as many $1,200 to $2,000 hobby boxes as they were the year before. Why? Because people just simply don't want to pay that price. Fanatics buying the rights to your chocolate milk, Schultzy. Yeah, that's that'd be awesome, baby. Yep, that's right. Says it's funny. Meyer put their cards on sale for Black Friday. All they did was match the competition with their prices. That's terrible. That's so crappy. You know, I just wonder if... I know their prices are somewhat higher at Meyer, but I just wonder if somebody's telling their CEO like that. Like, yo, dude. Or hey, ma'am, these prices are the same, lowered with your Black Friday discount that they are over at Walmart 2 blocks down. Why the hell would I buy them here? They're sitting on the shelves in both places. What are you doing? We'll see a market correction here at some point, but probably for a couple more months, we're still going to see places like Meyer overcharging for these boxes because they think people are going to pay that, but no longer. No longer. Claudius is still doing restocks. Been seeing product on the shelves for like 2 months straight. Even asked a couple of flippers why they stopped buying. Was the reply says they moved to shoes. Heh. Cloudy future, they moved to shoes. Those lazy, fat fucks were on shoes to begin with. Then all of a sudden, they throw, well, I'm going to try to find something, whatever. They can barely make a profit right now because people aren't paying as much for shoes either. The profit is still there, but you're telling me that, oh, well, I'm just going to go and buy shoes and I'm going to deal with this whole, like, drop system on Nike and I'm just going to, unless I got a bot and I can get 5,000 entries in, you know, I'm just going to go deal with trying to make money that way. Just get a fucking job. Oh, my God, it's not that hard. You guys spend more effort, you flipping fat fucking assholes, trying to not have a job and trying to not work than if you did actually just being employed. What a concept. God, you'd make more money delivering Uber Eats. Done. God. Oh, anyways. All right, there's your rant for the morning, guys. There's your rant for the morning. You know what? I mean, seriously, guys, and hot take number 2, where do you think Pac-Man's audience came from? Why do you think his audience is so big? He was a flipper of sneakers. He was a sneaker dude. And then just got into sports cards, came from a family with money, had a whole sneaker flipper audience that have been following him, and then transitioned into sports cards. It's just, it's like, come on, guys. Come on. Just annoying as hell. Oh, I'm going to shoes. Like, no. You're crawling back to shoes to hope that you can sort of make some cash. Oh my God. Matt says, where was Nightbot to edit that language? It's my channel. If I want to say the fuck word, I can say the fuck word. It's online, guys. It's uncensored. That's the way that it goes. And there we go. KY Hen says, sound bitter. Sound bitter. Not really, Ken. I mean, I didn't start on third base. And I understand the world that we live in. It's obvious that some people, you know, with just that extra audience to begin with, that's just the way that it goes, man. It's the way that it is. Adrian says, what did you put in your milk? Chocolate? Nesquik mix? That's it. And then as we get into the end of the Hot Zone, guys, about 6.5 minutes remaining, we can talk more about Fanatics buying Panini. We can talk about dirty flippers. We can talk about all that. But congrats to the U.S. men advancing in the World Cup. In the World Cup 2, not the round of 16, but the elimination round. So essentially getting as far as they have, and I think the last, what I want to say, 20 or 30 years. So congrats to the U.S. men in the World Cup for doing that. Mark, born and third base, and told the world you hit a triple. Exactly, Mark. See, that's what frustrates me. Yeah, when you're born on third base and you're telling the world that you hit a triple, and really, the perception is, you don't even have to tell people, when you're born on third base and the perception is that you started from the bottom. Like, no, you didn't. No, you didn't. Yeah, retail cards all off center, says Biggie's Toys. That's another thing I think we can tell that Panini, and I would say Topps to a certain degree, but absolutely for sure Panini has just been throwing their crappy cards, the ones that don't really get centered correctly in the trimmer, that don't really go through correctly, that are just like extras that almost look like they should be thrown away. They've been just including those in retail sets, and we haven't heard from Panini as to why they do that. They haven't spoken a lick about it. It is so weird, but yet they'll still send out their Instagram and their Twitter posts about the next product coming up. They got their marketing guy or their marketing girl working on that one, but yet they have no statements on any kind of controversy, which I understand that that's just kind of how the world works, that companies don't like to respond to controversy. They just like to be silent about it. But you all, their silence just, I guess prices will still be lowered, but with people just continuing to give them profit hand over fist, the silence allows them to profit still, essentially. So frustrating. Trey Conrad, Schultzly channeling his Jim Harbaugh this morning, born on third. No, and the only reason I bring that up, the only reason I bring Pac-Man's channel up specifically is really the sneaker audience. There was a built-in, there were a lot of card collectors that, I don't know how hardcore these card collectors are, but these card collectors that started watching during the pandemic and getting in during the Luka craze, getting in during the Jaw and the Zion rookie craze, they were sneakerheads. They were sneaker flippers. That was kind of that transition, and everybody that was like trying hot on those resale items essentially got in, and the rest is history. Yeah, money, Schulte, says Paul Tuttle 420. Money. Biggie's Toys says, I'll never pay $1,200 for a box. Well, that's good, dude. That's good for you. Yeah, unless your boxes are from 2020, essentially, I don't think you're getting anything for 2 times the profit as far as flipping goes right now. All right, guys, 2.5 minutes left. Unfortunately, we don't see any new items popping up on Target.com. Pretty crazy, but not surprising. So we can officially call it here in a couple of minutes that the hot zone will be expired, but we'll be hanging around for another 10 or 20 minutes, just hoping and praying to see if any items pop up on Target.com. If not, we'll be here bright and early tomorrow. And if not, next week, baby. JML. What's going on, man? OH blown out at home. Tyler says, I mean, you said you got reinterested to the hobby during the pandemic. Yes, Tyler, I absolutely did, but I had a base in the hobby, man. I actually went to card shops with my dad as a kid, right? I remember, man, the Capital Sports Cards off of Capitol in Salem, Oregon on the way to Lancaster Mall back in the day. If y'all have seen One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, that old movie with Jack Nicholson based on a book by, I think it was Ken Kesey. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. It's one of the best movies of all time. Kind of a freaky one, but it was shot down the road at the former insane asylum from this sports card shop, Capital Sports Cards. I went there frequently with my dad as a kid. I still remember there was many different times. It was like mid-90s where we were trying to go in when Dan Marino and John Elway were like the 2 huge quarterbacks in the league, and we were trying to pull like the new Dan Marino insert. And my dad would buy 20 packs trying to pull that Dan Marino insert, because eBay didn't really exist yet. It was barely starting at that point. So, discovering ways that you could buy cards and get your hands on the specific singles you wanted. Like, guys, I know about all that. I got back into cards during the pandemic, but I was on sports cards looking at all those Michael Jordans that my dad had collected, looking at all those different rookies that he had his hands on, his John Elway rookie, his Dan Marino rookie, his Clyde Drexler rookie, Hakeem Olajuwon, whatever his rookie would be considered. He's got a couple of those essentially. Just holding on to those memories are why I got back in, Tyler. And I'm not saying, and you say you used to do the same thing with your grandpa and you old man. So you get it, Tyler. You get it. You get why everything clicked for me. You want to know how I got back into the hobby during the pandemic? I was scrolling around YouTube at work one day, and I saw the original boombox, and I was fascinated. I was absolutely fascinated with the mystery box containing different packs from hobby boxes and the potential at different big hits being pulled. And along with that, Kyle Lewis, which, God, don't even get me started, man. I hope he hits 30 homers for the Arizona Diamondbacks and makes Jerry DiPolo like an ass. Cannot stand that he is gone for my Seattle Mariners. But he was an up-and-coming rookie that year, won Rookie of the Year in 2020. And, of course, so a Rookie of the Year on my favorite team, along with the Rookie of the Year from my favorite college team and Justin Herbert in the NFL for the AFC on offense, made it really easy for me, along with just being fascinated by box openings and cards and what you could possibly get nowadays, as opposed to back in the 90s, early 2000s. I got right back in, hook, line, and sinker, man. And it sounds like, Tyler, you understand. And it's just so sad. It's just so sad that there isn't really that true love of collecting there with those bigger that bigger channel. A couple of those bigger channels, but really the one that I'm talking about is just frustrating. And there's really no personality there either. And you know what? You guys can hear me. I am bitter about that. When a dude with no personality has like 200,000 subscribers talking about sports cards, yeah, that eats at my craw. And you can quote me on that till the day that I die. I will defend that statement until I am blue in the face. And I think I have a right to make that statement, all right? And I think there are a lot of others that would agree with me out there. So, no need to be, Schultz, you're bitter. No, I think that's ridiculous. And I think that the good old algorithm, just because a channel's big, it just keeps on going. There, of course, are... You are a product of the decisions that you make, all right? You are. You absolutely are. There are some helps along the way that some people get here on this platform, though. It is quite obvious. It is quite obvious. But anyways, guys, unfortunately, yeah, it is 5:01 now, 5:02, 8:02 East Coast time. No sports card restock happening on Target.com. So we know officially that they're going to be changing it up. When will we see Select Football Megas? When will we see Chrome Update hangers and mega boxes? When will we see those products coming up here before the end of the year? And I guess after that, the last real big retail product they're going to be waiting for going to be Mosaic Basketball 21-22. Walt says, I used to buy a table every Sunday at my local show in the early mid-90s. Such a fun time. For sure, Walt. That does sound awesome. Eric says, living rent-free in your head. Don't let him. No, I appreciate that, Eric. I absolutely. And I do think it is just in relation to really, singles prices dropping, people getting into the hobby, people getting out of the hobby. It really is all kind of in relation to that. But I understand what you're saying. Vegas Card says, I'm 47. I get everything you're saying. Watching your channel also got me back into the hobby. Keep doing what you're doing. I appreciate that, man. Nick says, Juan, that's what I'm saying. Anything to avoid actual work. And yeah, that's the frustrating thing about flippers. That is the frustrating thing about the flippers. They will literally work harder to avoid getting a job. They will bust their ass to avoid working for the man and make less money doing so, just to say that they don't work for the man or just be lazy. It's weird. So weird. One and Only says, looks like it's all about Absolute and Don Russ retail now. Hopefully see more people coming back and chasing the inserts. You know what, One and Only? I think retail is going to be dead forever because it is just overprinted now. And along with, the different, we're looking at like 7-8 different one-on-ones in some instances from different releases for sports cards, along with all the different parallels. And then you think about that, guys, along with And Scotty B made the great point. People are really starting to come around to this now. You think about 40 to 60 different, like one-of-ones of a certain rookie, or 40 to 60 to 80 to maybe even 100 different variations of a rookie card. Rookie cards are dead. Parallels are starting to get super, super low value as well, because there are so many Justin Herberts out of $299. Julio Rodriguez is out of $299. There's effing 60 of them. So how valuable are those cards actually? Juan says, we all flip. What do you think of businesses? You buy for less and make a profit. Juan, a business, though, usually involves more costs than just buying and selling your stuff. There's marketing. There's employees. A one-man business running around grabbing a product that essentially isn't really selling for more, but is only selling for more because of the created scarcity when retail boxes are sitting in dudes' basements and garages. It's not a supply and demand problem. It's a greed and fake scarcity problem. That's all that it is. Yeah, and that is true, Nick. Yeah, I do agree that a lot of those flippers probably are not paying taxes. Absolutely agree. So yeah, lots to talk about in the world of sports and the hobby this morning, you guys. Unfortunately, no sports cards coming our way, but we've been hitting it all morning. The death of modern day rookie cards and singles prices still dropping like a rock, really hurting the hobby and making it frustrating, I think, for people to get in. It's not like, I'm not accusing everybody, and I would never accuse everybody of doing this, that we just want that, we need a $40 card out of each $20 box that we open. I don't think that we all have that mentality. What I'm saying is I think 2020, made a lot of new people in the hobby think that they could get their investments back a lot easier than they actually could, in a normal year in the hobby. And it tainted a lot of our opinions on retail, on sports cards in general, and unfortunately kind of just gave profits hand over fist to the company still. Adler says, just pull the Trevor Lawrence Select die cut club level zebra. Should I hold or will it drop a lot? Adler, I would actually get that graded and probably sell it, man. That is a huge card. Congratulations. Yeah, I would get that graded and I would sell that, man. If you think Trevor Lawrence is going to be good, then I would possibly hold it. But see, that's the thing, guys, with these modern day rookie cards. I am very nervous about holding. I mean, I'm even nervous about holding my Justin Herberts at this point. Wondering if a couple of my lower numbered ones, I think I've got a Justin Herbert Mosaic out of like 199 PSA 10. I am worried that is going to, I don't know, I guess at this point I could probably get near what I paid for it, but I'm worried that it's not going to turn into, that $20,000, $30,000, $50,000 card that I thought it was going to turn into. And I think a lot of people are wondering about that with a lot of their cards as well. And now we see GLDO says 2022 update Chrome will not be a retail exclusive this year. So they are actually doing hobby for 2022 Chrome update? Damn. All right, well, Fanatics doing a little bit of what Panini is doing, man. See, that's frustrating to me. That was one of the things that made Chrome Update valuable because it was a retail-only release. It's pretty crazy. Nice. Adler says, thanks. Pulled it from a hanger. Just sent it around a week ago. Nice. Yeah, baby. All right, Adler, good luck. Let me know what you get, man. If that's going to come out of PSA 10 or not, I hope it does. And I would assume, I don't know, what are those zebras going for? Probably a couple of grand if it's a PSA 10 T-Law rookie. Get that bag, baby. Biggie's Toy says, we got hoodwinked. Darn tootin' we did, and people are still there buying into backyard breaks every single week, breathlessly defending them, breathlessly defending idiots that do not need defending or should not be defended. I mean, come on, y'all. Isn't it obvious after pulling like 5, 6 101s? It wasn't just those 3 101s that Backyard pulled. I think I saw another 2 major 101s pulled in the last like month and a half, even since the controversies began. It's continued. It just really makes you ask the question, is the hobby rigged? And why? Tony says, I'm going to buy up all the update chrome I can. Talking like bankruptcy type stuff. Hobby and retail. That's awesome, Tony. Good luck, brother. Poké Fun says, yeah, it's profiting off scarcity that makes it flipping. It's actually unregulated scalping. Buying a 99 Civic and making it $500 is flipping. Buying out toys in December is scalping, says Poké Fun. Yes, that is a much different way that people look at it, and that is exactly what it is. That is scalping. And essentially, it's kind of funny that nobody really cares about like bots or anything until people can't get Taylor Swift tickets. But then all of a sudden, the government's going to put some antitrust legislation in or put together a group of Congress people or Senate committee to look exactly at what happened and into the controversy of how Ticketmaster and Live Nation have formed this monopoly. And it's like, hey, assholes, all the bots that placed orders can go in and be canceled. Ticketmaster and Live Nation let bots place orders even though it's against their terms and conditions on their websites. It's an easy solve. I don't know why we're all sitting there like, oh my God, what do we do? Here's what you do. You go in and you cancel every single fucking order that a bot did for not just Taylor Swift tickets, but every single item ever. It's like, are you serious? We have to have like this pop culture failure of people getting concert tickets to really realize that something is going on. I bet they all forgot about the Grinch Bot Act that got proposed from Congress, in 2019 or 2020, after people couldn't get their hands on PS5s and Xboxes. God. It's like this, I guess this isn't happening anymore. And then it happens to some of the stupidest people in the world. And now they're all concerned about it. Cloudy Future says, didn't Sports Card Radio show vids of marked boxes going out a while back? Yeah, Cloudy Future, I think they showed some footage of some possible boxes sent out, as well as I think like serial numbers that had certain combinations. You could figure out where the hit was, along with some packs for, I think it was Topps, either Series 2 or Update Series. The silver packs had red markers on them, and usually that denoted a good hit. And then as well, I mean, I've pulled these out before, y'all. God, do I have an empty blaster box? I don't think I have an empty blaster box near me, but you can see each box, or yeah, here we go. I've made this argument before several times. Each box has a stamp. Each blaster and hanger box and hobby box has a stamp just like this in it. And if you're telling me that these numbers aren't used to track exactly what is in each case or what's going into each case of each product, then you're nuts. Because that number alone tells me that Panini knows exactly where their stuff is going. Exactly. Paul Tuttle says, what do you think about the tins with optic and Prizm packs? Actually, NRE authorized. The art is nice. Yes, it is. I actually found 4 of them at my local store. Going to review them for a video and release that probably later today. Excited to get that out. So I don't know if anybody's done them on YouTube. Probably already fucking lost out to other, like Sky B found them 2 weeks ago and he put them up on YouTube, because I can't ever find anything in stores near me before anybody else. JML. Durr, exactly. Exactly, JML. Dominic says, don't knock the box, bro. I made great money during the pandemic using the bots. I mean, it's just frustrating that normal people that don't really... You know how hard it is to get info on bots, man? It's just... It sucks, all right? It's not fun dealing with people that are trying to do things not ethically, not morally, all right? There's a reason that sites don't allow them. It sucks that sites don't allow them. They're still used anyways, and because they're not really legally enforced whether or not they're actually allowed or not, just keep on keeping on. Good old gray area. It's the way that it is. Al says if their retail pack's kind of crappy given they charge like 20 to 30 bucks for them. Yeah, not surprising. Not surprising, but I would assume that there's going to be some chances at, let's see. Trying to think like, I don't know, autos or what was, I don't know if it was like purples or some kind of numbered parallel in there. I don't know. I can't remember. Genuinely can't remember exactly what was the special inclusion in those. However, I do know that there was some kind of special inclusion in them. Hits and Pulse says, if you could scoop a handful of FIFA blasters for World Cup, would you? I probably would. Just because they are so collectible right now. Tim says, if it ain't numbered to 100 or less, flip it. Paul Tuttle 420 says, you see the John Morant Popco with the stained glass background. I did not. That sounds sexy. Sounds like a nice card. What did I tell you about John Morant, y'all? Man, he is Damian Lillard 2.0. Get that rookie. That is one rookie that I would absolutely want to buy. But I don't know, man, with these prices going the way that they are. Look at this. A Michael Jordan PSA 10 rookie. One of the most iconic cards of all time, going for just over $100,000. What is the ceiling for a John Morant 1 of 1 then? What is the ceiling for a Luka Doncic 1 of 1? We've even seen Luka 1 of 1s going down. Under $1 million now, because people starting to see like, oh, are these cards actually being printed more than people are really saying? Like, yes, they are. That's what's happening. Pokane Fun says, isn't ticket scalping already actually regulated and illegal? Yes, it is, but it still happens. And it's just frustrating that ticket scalping, like, it's illegal. I'm pretty sure that the government made it illegal to buy, trying to think. Is it concert? No, just any ticket. I think concert tickets or sports event tickets with bots a few years ago. They made it illegal. The government made it illegal to use bots to buy tickets for events with, right? But here we go, and hearing in 2022 that Ticketmaster's still hit with a ton of bot attacks. It's crazy to me. SC rips is when Schulte closes his eyes. You know you're about to get a hot take. I love it, LOL. I appreciate you, man. Oh, you guys are awesome. All right, 5:17 Pacific, 8:17 East Coast time, y'all. So no sports card restock today from Target.com. We're going to be back bright and early tomorrow, hoping that we see something coming down the pipeline. Not sure we're going to see anything, but hey, who knows? Who effing knows? Appreciate everybody hanging out, though. It's been a good morning. And you notice different graphics, different overlay. Decided to try and change it up. I thought that what I had going was just too complex, and I kind of wanted to make it a little bit more simple. In fact, this what I have right here is even a little bit. I'm gonna upgrade that just a little bit. So don't y'all worry here. This is gonna look better. This is kind of the first iteration, but we got the drip ticker going on. Check them out, guys. Use my QR code or my link down in the description. Dripshop.live. Get $20 off your first purchase of $30 or more. All of my breaks through there, so be able to get some money off of a spot there. You'll be able to get some money off of all the extra singles that I'll be selling. Gonna be running a singles auction soon here on Drip. So excited, of course, that will be simulcast on YouTube. But love doing auctions on Drip because the entire auction process is already set up. So it's fun. It's easy. Appreciate you, Biggest Toys. Says, give Schulte a like for dealing with us. Thanks, you guys. Yeah, I think I only asked for likes like one time this morning. So make sure you hit me up with that like. Does help me feed a couple of kitties named Pikachu and Eevee. And make sure that give that algorithm some love. You all know how that works. Living and dying by the algorithm. Jason Ward says it's the same handful of influencers, big dogs selling the high-end cards to each other on PWCC. Doubt they even change hands. Doesn't make sense to take a $2 million loss on a Luka. Oh, yeah, PWCC. Oh, the controversy surrounding them as well. These ticket bots are how Terminator movie started, says Adaman. Roll Star 69 says it's not illegal unless you get caught. You guys are awesome. Vernon H has been loading up on John Morant PSA 10 rookies. You can find crazy deals at auctions right now. Nice job, baby. I would say that's a win. Nice job grabbing those jaws, man. He is Dame Lillard 2.0. Absolutely Dame Lillard 2.0. Simple way to stop bots, y'all. Bots they all place orders at the same time in clusters. You can go through and you can cancel the damn orders one by one individually. Pay some knob $12 an hour. Cancel. 1311 First Avenue. What the heck? And then the next address is 1311 First Avenue, spelled First. Apartment A, and then apartment B, and then apartment Z. 1311 Southwest First Avenue, apartment S. Cancel all those. It's easy. God, it takes so little effort on these companies' parts. So little effort. I mean, I've seen orders come in. And I run a very small scale business operation here. You know, I see orders coming in. Sure, it's a F-ton more orders on their end. Instead of 200, you're looking at 20,000 orders, but very easy to go through, do a Control-R search, or it's just so easy. So easy. All right, guys. Yeah, don't even need a bot. Don't even need a person. Run a bot against the matching orders, LOL. Use a bot to catch the bots. All right, you guys. Yeah, 5:21 Pacific, 8:21 East Coast time. I will be back bright and early tomorrow. Apologize I did not stream yesterday, but hey, I guess we didn't miss much. And unfortunately, today, we didn't miss much either. But hey, the game is on. Now it's all unknown. We don't know when Target's going to drop sports cards next. So we're hanging out. It's going to be fun. We'll be back bright and early tomorrow talking more sports cards and sports news topics. All kinds of extra hobby controversy. Guys, there's so much stuff to get to that I had in my mind that we just didn't get to touch on today. Of course, influencers in the hobby. Are influencers good for the hobby? Are we being taken advantage of by these companies? I mean, I got in because I love opening sports cards, and now I am legitimately wondering, am I just shilling for Panini and for Topps? Not quite sure if that's a good thing or not. Makes me wonder if I need to pivot, maybe push a different message on my channel. Anyways, we'll get into that tomorrow, and we can talk more about what we expect coming our way on Target, as well as what is happening in the future of not only the hobby, but investing in rookies and all kinds of stuff that we can yak about going forward that y'all are wondering about. All right, guys. Appreciate you, and girls. Be back bright and early tomorrow. SCHULTZY'S card pulls out. Hits and pulls, I'll give you my pick for Niners or Dolphins. I'll give you my pick tomorrow morning. We'll actually, you know what? And that is one thing. I'm going to be doing a weekly pick segment here on the channel. So we'll be throwing that in as well tomorrow. So don't y'all worry. Be giving you my picks for tomorrow night's Thursday night matchup, as well as this weekend's games, all on the NFL slate. So tune back in bright and early tomorrow. SCHULTZY'S card pulls out. Be good to yourselves and each other.